Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vitvishavaihai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavitvaram. Hari Om. We have seen in short the life story of Pujya Gurudev and how Chinmay Mission started and what it is today. So all the different wings of Chinmay Mission is what we saw in the last session, right? Educational wing, musical wing, and then hospitals, etc., rural development, CIF, research wing, publications, ashrams, temples. Now all these, when Gurudev was starting, you see, he was involved in big things as well as very minute things. See, one job of the person who starts such organization is to give vision, that this is what we want to achieve through this organization. Now when that vision is actualizing, in that every step, Pujya Gurudev's efforts, Pujya Gurudev's very careful, inspection was there. There are many letters written by Pujya Gurudev to devotees who are constructing an ashram or a temple. Even for CIF, when the land was acquired and when the discussion started, Gurudev has actually drawn that there should be this pond that we have behind Kulapur Malika. So around that pond there should be what? And if you want to have a residential block, where it should be. All these things Gurudev used to draw and send. In Sandipani also, some of the pictures you can see, he was a very master manager. These pictures are during the construction of the Jagadishwara temple, the first temple of Chinmay Mission, the first ashram of Chinmay Mission. And the story is very interesting. Gurudev was giving a talk in Mumbai, and he was telling that we should have ashrams, temples here right in the heart of India, not only in the Himalayas, where we can teach youngsters about Vedanta. And one lady, see, in Mumbai when Gurudev used to take sessions, we saw there are thousands, 10,000, 15,000 people will be there. Chowpatty and on the seashore he used to take class. So after the session was over, one Amma came to Gurudev and she said that I have some land which I want to offer to you. She was not connected to Chinmay Mission yet, okay? She just attended some of the sessions of Gurudev, and she said that I have a complete hill in Powai. I have a complete hill that I can donate. So Gurudev said, but I only want some land. And he specified that this much land only I want. That Amma is Tara Amma. She is Tara Cultural Trust that is established in Sandipani Sadhanalaya is under Tara Cultural Trust, and the entire land that we have, where the CCMT, Central Chinmay Mission Trust is there, Sandipani Sadhanalaya Powai is there, that entire land is donated by her. And her house is right across the street. And we have other things also now. But that time, when she just offered, Gurudev said that now I want only this much. So he took that much and he started the construction. So first the residential blocks came up because he wanted to start Vedanta course. And we saw last session how in 1963 first Vedanta course started. So in 1960 etc. the construction started of the ashram. Then there was Annakshetra, small hall was there. So present where Annakshetra is, that was the hall. And under that what we have storeroom now was the Annakshetra at that time. And Saraswati Nilayam etc. came later on. So we had Vivekale, Vairagyale, 2 buildings, and then Yashodale for girls. And then Gurudev decided to have this Jagadishwara temple, the first temple. And you see how Gurudev is analyzing the entire design also, and in construction also he is instructing, and he visited so many times. And there are so many letters that he has written that this should be like this, this should be like this. And our Jagadishwara temple is very unique temple. Generally you go to any Shiva temple, the Shiva Linga will be there, no? And that yoni of that linga will be directed towards north. That's how all the Shiva Lingas are supposed to be. So even in the room when we keep, the yoni has to direct towards the north. But Jagadishwara temple is Atma Linga. It is said that Gurudev established his own Atma in that linga. And that's how the Prana Pratishtha was done. And that's why it is directing towards south. Those who have been, they can find. There are so many other things. On top of that, Shivalinga also, Shivalinga. So actually if this is the base ground, Shivalinga is under that. It is not on the same ground. It is under that. The Murti is there on some height for all the people to see. But Shivalinga is under that, and there is a dome on top. You can see, and huge Shivalinga is there right on top also. And there also, according to all the Vastu Shastra etc., all the things are made according to that. Not a single thing is just like that made. And opposite to that, suppose I am entering the temple, there is a Shiva, Shivalinga is there, statue is there. On the right hand side there is Gangaji. So Ganga water Gurudev brought, and in different kalashas, Suvarna kalashas, that Gangaji is also established. And on the left hand side there is Shri Krishna also, who is established. And on the entrance, on both sides there is Shankaracharya ji and Dakshinamurti Bhagavan. Both of them are also there. Why? Because knowledge is going to be given in this temple, isn't it? So Dakshinamurti Bhagavan is a form of Lord Shiva who came to give knowledge. Shankaracharya ji is avatar of Lord Shiva who gave knowledge. And therefore we have these things. And then there is Taponji Maharaj picture also there. So Gurudev was very keen. And if you remember, so there are many steps to go to Jagadishwara temple. Right at the bottom where the steps start, there is Hanumanji. From the entrance when we come, not from the back side, from the entrance when we come, there is Hanumanji. That Hanumanji, where it should be and how should be the Murti, is Gurudev has painted and sent. That Hanumanji should be like this folding hand, and this should be the Murti, and he has sent because he was traveling, so he used to send, and then that's how that is made. So in every single thing that Gurudev did, there was perfection. They say when Gurudev used to write letters and post, the stamp, the post stamp, no, Indian Post, that stamp will be there. It will be at exact same distance from top and right on every envelope. So there are people who have got letters from Gurudev over 10-15 years. And the first letter that they have got and the last letter that they have got, if they check, that postcard stamp will be at the same place. That is called perfection. Perfection is not in doing one or two things perfectly. No. In every single thing that he used to do, there was perfection. Why? Man of perfection will have perfection in every single thing. That's what Gurudev was. Now, when it started from that Jagadishwara temple, from Sandipani Sadhanalaya Pavai, it spread. And now we have so many temples and so many unique temples we have. Actually, if you think about the global Chinmaya mission and what are all the temples we have every single temple. We have 60 feet Ganesha, which is the tallest Ganesha in whole Asia, right? 20 feet base, and on top of that 60 feet Ganesha is there. Total 81 feet. We have in Chokalli also 25 feet Ganesha. We have in Siddhabari 21 feet Hanumanji. And then there is Sri Rama temple in Siddhabari. We have Devi temples in Andhra now. We have Panchayatana Devi, Panchayatana temple. So many different temples. Why? Because Gurudev himself was a very great devotee. That's why that love for God just manifested. See, this aspect of Gurudev is not on forefront. When we listen to Gurudev, no, very hard logic and he will be so vehement and strong. This soft aspect of Gurudev is not known to many people. So this you can see Krishna, this is from Siddhabari. So we have main temple which is Rama, and interestingly if you see there, Sri Rama, Lakshman, Sita, Hanumanji is there, and behind that there is Rama and Sita in Vanavasi form. Now think about it, Vanavasi Ram was only there in south. Because in north, Sri Rama is always worshipped as king. He was in Ayodhya as a king. He came and he was in Vana in the southern part of India. Therefore, you come to southern part from Nashik onwards, you have temples of Vanavasi Ram, Sri Rama in that form. But this is in Siddhabari in Himachal Pradesh. Why? Because Gurudev wanted that integration to happen. And therefore, there is Vanavasi Ram, Sita also is there, and then of course the Sri Rama Darbar also is there. Hanumanji, as you can see, 20 feet Hanumanji's Murti is there, very strong. It is said in the Dhauladhar mountain range, when we got this place for the ashram, there used to be such strong wind that no construction was possible. Whatever people may try, the construction was not possible. So first, Gurudev said that let us have Hanumanji here first. He is Pavana Putra. When Pavana Putra is here, Pavana will be fine. And it happened like that. Today, if you go all around that, the nature is very violent. But in the ashram, if you go, it is so soft. You can see mountain ranges of Himalayas right across. But the peace in the ashram is something unbelievable in Siddhabari ashram. See, this is Gurudev. Wherever he goes, whatever he did, was beyond our understanding. One very famous story that Swamini Sharda Priyananji used to tell. In Andhra, we have a huge ashram called Chinmayaranyam. When that land was given, that land was entire barren land. Not a single tree was there. And it was given to Chinmay Mission because nothing can come out of that land. That's why people said that it is better to give. Generally, that's how people do. The car that is not working is donated. That's how people are like that only. So this land was given and Gurudev went there to inspect what land has come, and they were all, some trustees were there, Shardama was there, and they were all explaining that nothing can happen, Gurudev. Even if we have a construction here, even if we have buildings, what about water? People won't get water to drink. This is so difficult. And it seems that it was very hot. Andhra anyways is very hot. And in that summer, somebody was holding umbrella for Gurudev and somebody brought a glass of water for him to drink when they were inspecting the hole. So Gurudev took little water and he said, here you will get water. And he poured some water on the ground. And then remaining he drank. Sharda Priyananji, first batch of Sandipani, first student of Gurudev, she marked that place. When Gurudev was passing, she marked that place. She came back and she said, dig here. We will get water here. Gurudev said, you will get water here. We will get water here. They, they removed all the thing. They got water. And that place, today if you go, is so full of trees that sun cannot enter. That's why the place is called Chinmaya Aranyam. Aranyam means forest. Forest is full of trees. In a barren land, today there is Aranyam. Why? Satya Sankalpaya Namaha. Gurudev said something, became true. So many such, experiences are there. He had vision of CIF and CVV, Vishwavidyapeeth. How many? 25 years ago. He went to Coimbatore near our Chinmay Gardens ashram. He said that here there should be a residential school. After 5 years, that became true. Gurudev was not there at that time in the physical form to see that happening, but his vision, his words never failed. He said, it happened. This was Gurudev. Every single thing that he did was marvelous. Now, obviously, when such a master is there, it is like, flower which is so fragrant that the fragrance doesn't remain just there. It just spreads. Similarly, the world was not enough now. So, Gurudev traveled abroad and he did so many world tours. You look at, if one word, if I have to say about Gurudev, that is fearless. Look at him. He is standing in church, right under Jesus Christ, in the same pose like Jesus Christ. There is Om put there, BMI chart is there, and he is teaching Vedanta inside church, in the foreign land. Audacity, fearlessness. That is Gurudev. Why? Because he was so convinced that Vedanta doesn't talk about any particular religion. So it is there for all religions. And therefore, every single person came to listen to him. When Gurudev used to travel in 1965, he did the first world tour. And after that, he did so many world tours. And people used to just get attracted towards him. He used to say that youngsters abroad, are more attracted towards spirituality than India. Why? Because in India, spirituality you get everywhere. They don't get it. They don't know. There is a system that is running which is full of materialism which they don't want. Youngsters' mind is always revolting. You give them anything, they want to do opposite. So the materialism in foreign land, especially in Western countries, was so much that they wanted to fight against, they wanted to go against. They didn't know what to do. They came to spirituality. And Gurudev was a role model for them because Gurudev used to talk about their problems. Not just Vedanta as a philosophy. No, but Vedanta as a solution he used to give. So whatever contemporary problems are there, drugs. And Gurudev's sessions are there on how to, overcome this habit of drugs. About dating. In those days, in Western countries, dating was on full, rampage actually speaking. And that time Gurudev has taken sessions on that. What are the flaws? What are the positive things? What should we do? What should we avoid? In that time. When we didn't even know. In India, we didn't even know about all those things. But he went there and he addressed their problems. And therefore, not only when he went to world tour, not only Indians used to come. There were foreigners who used to come and attend Gurudev's sessions. So many foreigners are today brahmacharis and swamins. Why? Because Gurudev had very clear idea that he wanted to teach Vedanta, which does not have any particular religion. And therefore, when he went also first time, 1965, when he went and prostrated to Swami Shivananji, because 20 years back, remember 1945 when he was studying, Shivananji had said that this Vedanta knowledge should go to the world, not only to India. Now that dream was fulfilled. And other pictures also are from his, visits thereon. He used to go once in 2 years, once in 3 years. Towards the end, every year, he used to visit different countries, different cities for yajnas. First, it started with 1-day talk, 2-day talks. And then it became a proper Jnana Yajna that he used to have here, started there. There is Sandipani in abroad also. So, Vedanta courses that happen here, today happen outside India also. We have, at the moment, we have a Sandipani in Trinidad, West Indies. We have it in South Africa. We also had in PRC in USA, America. So, this way, it just, grew in all these directions. So, you can see Swami Purushottomananji also visiting, if I am not wrong, this is in 1983 or 85, around that time, I think, if I am not wrong. So, and, the world is not enough. That's the only thing that I can say about Gurudev. Now, when such a Mahatma is there, automatically we have seen earlier also that only one Mahatma can recognize another Mahatma. All of us Ajnanis, we cannot understand fully what that Jnani person is. And therefore, there were so many other Mahatmas who were in very close connection and they had a very cordial relationship with Pujya Gurudev. Some of those I am just showing here for you. So this is Swami Chidananji Maharaj, Divine Life Society. So Swami Chidananji Maharaj was the head of Divine Life Society after Swami Shivananji. Actually, they are Guru Bandhus, they are Guru Bhais, they studied together, Gurudev and Chidananji Maharaj. And after Gurudev attended Mahasamadhi, it was Swami Chidananji Maharaj who continued guiding Chinmaya mission. Chidananji Maharaj used to call Tejomayananji, our Guruji, as his spiritual nephew. And he was the one who came for Mahasamadhi also, what is to be done, to tell everything. When CIRS residential school was inaugurated, Chidananji Maharaj was there to inaugurate it. This way, that bond is there even now. Recently, this year itself, I think 100th Jayanti of Chidananji Maharaj was celebrated in whole of Divine Life Society, and they requested Guruji Swarupananji also to give sessions for them. And they visited our ashram in Uttarkashi also. So this is one. This is another very famous Nisargadatta Maharaj from Mumbai. He was a very great realized person. See, all these Mahatmas, in their own right, they are great. This Nisargadatta Maharaj, it is very interesting story is there that he was a BD shop owner. So he used to make BDs. Illiterate person, have no connection. One day in that slum where he was living, one Mahatma came and gave a talk. And in the talk he said, you are that Brahman. And Nisargadatta Maharaj took it very seriously and he realized in 6 months, I am that. In 6 months this Mahatma realized. Such great persons India has got. This is another very great Swami Gangeshwarananji. He was blind and he had entire Veda by heart. Entire Veda. In his memory only now that Gangeshwarananda Trust establishes this Veda in all the places. Even we have the Samhita portion of Veda established in the Illam is from that trust. And they have given in Sandipani also, in Siddhabari also, and in so many other temples. And Gurudev, you can see sitting at his feet, and he was very fond of Gurudev. He never he could not see, but he will know Gurudev has entered. In one place, the conversation is Gurudev visited with some devotees to this Gangeshwarananji and he said, Chinmayananda has come. So they asked, how do you know? He said, there is only one man who walks like this. As though he is a general in the army. And he used to immediately recognize. That was Gurudev. Other great personalities. Anandamayi Ma is a great personality from Rishikesh if you go there. And she was very famous. She came to visit our Sandipani. So this picture is actually from Jagadishwara temple. She visited Sandipani, and we have Vishvesha Tirtha Swamiji, Pejawar Mat Udupi, very, very famous Swamiji. He is one of the strongest spiritual personality of modern India, and he inaugurated one of the yajnas of Pujya Gurudev. This is Swami Abhedananji in Trivandrum. If you go to our Padmanabha Swami temple, just across you come out of the temple from the main gate, there is a pond. Just next to that, there is Abheda Ashram. And this Swami Abhedananji was from that place and very close to Gurudev and used to visit whenever Gurudev is nearby. So Gurudev also used to go and visit. They say there is Harinama going on continuously for years together in that Abheda Ashram, right? This is another great honor for us actually. Vishwa Hindu Parishad, as we all know, was established in Sandipani Sadhanalaya. And Gurudev was one of the person to establish that. This many people don't know. Vishwa Hindu Parishad, we all know, is a global body now. But you can see there, Gurudev is there right on the right hand side. Then Golwalkar Guruji was the second Sarasangha Chalak of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha, RSS. Then there is this our Apte ji, who was the first president of Vishwa Hindu Parishad. We have Tukdoji Maharaj. Next to him is Tukdoji Maharaj, a very great saint of Maharashtra. And next to him is Shankaracharya ji at that time. So all this is happening. So behind you can see Taponji's picture, right? That is Sandipani. That is the place that in 1964 Vishwa Hindu Parishad was established. So at that time Gurudev had all these ideas. You see that we should have all the spiritual organizations should come together. Then only Renaissance can happen. So that is the thing. Now we have Dalai Lama also, whom Gurudev met. There is one very interesting conversation that happened once with Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama, we know, is a Buddhist monk, and he was right at the top in the Buddhist entire religion. So Gurudev visited, and the ashram is not very far from Siddhabari. Their ashram where Dalai Lama used to visit and stay is not very far, Dharamshala, no? It's very close from Siddhabari. So Gurudev went once and was talking to him, and he said that, you should send your monks to the plains. You are still in Himalayas, you should send. So he said that, no, we wait for students to come to us. So Gurudev said, but they are not coming. Let us go there. If they are not coming, we should go. So Dalai Lama laughed and he said, you are very impatient. Gurudev said, yes, I am very impatient in this matter. We have to reach somehow the plains and we have to get this knowledge to the people. So Dalai Lama also visited later on Gurudev's Samadhi, etc. Satya Sai Baba of Puttaparthi, know him, great Mahatma, another great Mahatma. Even with other religions and other religious leaders, Gurudev had a very close connection. World Religion Conference, etc. was also had also invited Gurudev. And Parliament of World Religion, we Indians know it because of Swami Vivekananda ji, who went there in Chicago in 1893 and gave that famous speech, right? 100th year of that, in 1993, when this World Religion of Parliament of World Religion, they organized a program again in Chicago. They wanted Gurudev to represent Hinduism. So they approached Gurudev and gave invitation. But of course, Gurudev knew that he won't be able to go there. Therefore, he asked Guruji to go. And he knew that there is a time now that the physical body has to end. From form to formless. That's what was the time. So many experiences are there which people have shared about Gurudev's Samadhi, and more and more we know people, more and more we listen to such things. Doctor had already told that one of the doctors in the US, when Gurudev got second heart attack, they said that this man is dead according to science. How is he living? I don't know. I can't explain. But Mahatmas are like that. Their entire being is an instrument for God. So that's how Gurudev continued. Till his last moment, he continued to take classes. That's Gurudev. Even in 1993, before going to USA where he attended Samadhi, there was a youth camp organized in Siddhabari. Supposed to be the last camp. It happened to be a last camp of Gurudev, and my mother had gone, and so many other people, Mitranji and so many other people had gone there. And he was an enigma. He was even at that time when wheelchair etc. used to be there, he never stopped. His sessions were still vibrant. But the time was up. So on August 3rd, 1993, Pujya Gurudev attended Mahasamadhi in USA, but his body was brought to Siddhabari. So the first picture is on the 6th of August when the body was brought there. The second picture in the center is the Samadhi Sthal of Gurudev now, which is there in Siddhabari, and the third picture is the statue inside. So under that statue only Bhu Samadhi is given to Pujya Gurudev, and this is what we have now. I will conclude with one anecdote which once Anjali Singh Ji told me. This Anjali Singh Ji was the lady who always took Gurudev's pictures. So many pictures that we have of Gurudev are actually taken by her. So she wanted to go with Gurudev on this USA tour because the World Parliament of Religion was supposed to be on 6th of August. Okay, 6th of August 1993 was supposed to be that Chicago talk. So she said that I want to come with you. Gurudev said, no, you will get good pictures on 6th of August. You don't come. And it so happened that she was there right in Siddhabari on 6th of August when this body was brought, and this picture is taken by her. And she says that the entire room, of course, now Kamala Hall is not there, but at that time when it was there, people were, filled in the entire place. And there was total darkness just like this when the electricity went off, but there was one ray of light coming from somewhere on Gurudev's face. Actually on the picture also you can see that, and none of them could trace the source of that light. Now these are the things some people say, that doesn't happen like that. Those people who have faith, who have got such experiences, will know that this happens, right? So Gurudev we have seen as a great personality. And when Gurudev attained his Mahasamadhi, we should never feel that he has gone away from us. He has actually come closer to us. He used to say, the farther I go, the nearer I shall be. So Gurudev has become all of us, right? It is our responsibility to protect that essence of Gurudev in all of us. We are all Chinmaya family members. That Chinmaya name itself is representation of Gurudev in all of us, right? So let us maintain that dignity. Guruji, when took over as head of the mission, he said, so far you have seen Gurudev working. Now you will see Gurudev's name working. And that's what we see even today. You go anywhere and you say you are from Chinmaya mission, suddenly they will give you respect and you will have no idea why are they giving you respect. You have not done anything to deserve that respect, but that respect is for the name. That respect is for Gurudev's name. So, with that we will conclude with this Chinmaya Parichay session. I want to show you one very beautiful video, a 20-minute video. If you permit, we can extend for 10 minutes. We still have time. We have not completed. So, if you permit, I will like to show that video. It's called Many Moods of the Master. On the birth centenary, not birth centenary, the Silver Jubilee celebration of Chinmaya movement, this video was brought out, and it is just the most amazing video that I have seen. And I have seen this video so many times. Whenever I feel, dejected and so many people are... Actually, Gurudev is not talking in that video. In 20 minutes, he has spoken one word. You will know which word, right? But it is so powerful. So, if you permit, we will watch that video. Guruji says in his composition on Gurudev, the famous Kritadnyata, the first verse we all know, Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. In that second last verse he says, Anek Janmarjita Punya Praptaha Maya Gururyo Jagati Prasiddha Yasya Prasadena Manaf Prashantam Babhuva Me Tam Shirasanamam. Can't even say how lucky we are to come under the umbrella of Pujya Gurudev. Aneka Janmarjita Punya. We must have done Punya in many births that we have come here and become part of this Chinmaya family. So what should we do? Kritadnyataya charadhisthita me vaktum na shakya khalu yatnatopi Guro prasida kripaya videhi tvatpada bhaktim paramanuraktim. We don't even have enough intelligence, understanding to know what to do and then to do. Therefore, O Gurudev, you only please give us the ability, and what? You only make sure that we ever remain at your feet. That is the feeling with which we all must live our entire life. Every single breath that we take is because of such Mahatmas. Without them, we are nothing. We could not have got this precious self-knowledge. We'll conclude this session, then we'll see what to do next. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.